MK and I am back with the fourth and final layout showing how I use my pre-made clusters on a layout. So what I have today is the hole reinforcers because I'm going to make another one of those SEI pages, but this one is actually a 12 by 12 that is just a craft page that was added to the album as an additional interest to flipping the pages. So I have this beautiful, beautiful paper from the Country Harvest collection. This is the layout that I was telling you about, or the page I was telling you about. And then I have the leftover orange piece, and then all of my embellishments, or all my clusters, I should say. So for this type of page, now this one is going to go by so super fast. If you blink, you're going to miss it, because the layout, the actual paper that I use on the layout, as well as the clusters, all work so well together that it really just comes together like butter. I mean, it's just so smooth. I can't even tell you how easy it is to create this layout. So I'm just sharing with you guys the clusters that I have, a few of the leftover embellishments, and then of course the hearts that I will be using as the sprinkles. So I did fast forward this, even though they are very quick and easy layouts. I did fast forward them just because of the fact that I honestly don't have that much to say about creating these layouts. I just don't. There's a lot of class content that I cannot share with you guys because it is part of the class. I just wanted to share with you guys all of these layouts because it's one of those questions that I'm always getting. I always make pre-made embellishments and then everybody wants to know how they're used on a page. Well, every single page is different. Every single cluster is different. I don't make two clusters ever the same. I don't ever make them the same, being like I don't ever put them together the same. That question is very hard to answer. So I have, showed you 4 ways that I have taken 4 separate clusters and put them on layouts. I mean, it's easy. Adapt and improvise is how that works in the short run. So for this particular layout, I wasn't too fond of the polka dots that were on this one side, and on the other side is just a beautiful grid. I'm going to leave it just as it is and probably create it a title piece on the other side. So no photos or anything, but just like any other mini album, you want to make sure that anything that will be exposed to the elements, even though it's going to get sandwiched in between 2 page protectors, I still want this page to last a while. I don't care if it doesn't last a fire or anything like that, but I do want it to last, a year or 2 or 12, somewhere in there. And so what I'm doing is I just put score tape the exact same way that I would have made if this was an album. If this was going to go into a mini album, I did the exact same thing. I put adhesive on all 4 on all 4 edges, so that way the paper isn't going to curl anywhere unless I wanted it to. Then I would have definitely kept it a little bit farther from the edge, but not very much. And then I made a cross with, kind of like a barn door where you've got your cross and then your ups and your downs. So that way it is covered, but it doesn't need to be like edge to edge, side to side, completely full coverage. I just know that now I'm not going to get a buckle in the middle of my page should I use wet adhesive. That's the only thing that I was trying to avoid. So now for this one, I'm just going to lay down my photos. I'm not even going to think about how I am going to put the layout together because all of the elements on the page pretty much said, okay, your photos go here. I didn't want my photos to go up high because that just doesn't make any sense to me. Having photos floating up in the sky, basically, is how I see a layout. Is how I see a base page, is where to put your photos. And I always usually put them over in the lower left corner and then create around them going that direction. So also too, this had a really cool element that already really matched my embellishments almost to a T. So it's almost like I'm extending that page element just by adding all of these clusters that I made, and I'm going to combine them into one giant cluster going along the bottom side of my page. And it's going to just basically extend that, picture element, whatever you want to call it, that was already printed on the layout. So I really do like, how that looks. I mean, it's just perfect. Now, this clusters aren't all touching. They are only touching on the two that I put on the lower left corner. The title piece isn't touching the other two at all. But I did combine the medium and the small elements. And now I'm working with the other small element that I had created. And I just added a little strip of brown. I think it was just a branding strip that I had left over. I don't really remember. Added a butterfly that I had. I think that was sticking out, or was it already there? I think the butterfly was extra. And now I'm just going to go through and add all of these little hearts and things, again, to fill in the gaps that may have been created because of the placement of the clusters. So it's just like a little sprinkling of, I don't know, of interest. Sprinkling of interest, because of the fact that, everything was already done. And this paper just made it absolutely perfect. And because I'm using the exact same embellishments that the paper came from, it definitely was a perfect match for, for creating the extension of that pre-printed element that was on the page. It just made it that much easier, in all honesty. Again, I am not going to add any splattering of any ink or any sprays or anything like that, because I really don't think that this layout needs it at all. But in all honesty, that's it. They're just cute, adorable photos of my son loving his pumpkin that he carved. This was my son's first year carving pumpkins, and he was just so thrilled and so interested in what was going on and all the goop that came out of these pumpkins that I just couldn't stop taking photos, in all honesty. So I had a ton of these photos to share. I think I have one more layout to share with you guys using these photos, but it's not going to be a part of this little mini series that I had going on for this month. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me and seeing how I use pre-made clusters on a layout and make them look like they're not pre-made. So anyways, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.